There should be a fun festival. Maybe the primitive rhythms of drums and flutes naturally stir up the human heart. The shopping district, now transformed into the venue for the festival, is crowded with unusually lively peoples.
夏
Like us.
祭りだから夏祭りだって言ってんでしょが、なんであんたはいつもそうやって言葉がテレコになるかな。
Because it's Makina. Does she ever make any lick of sense regardless? What? Oh my god, what are you freaking the fuck out about? What? Oh, there she goes.
もうこら、だから走るなっつの。どこ行くのよ。
Go get her, mommy. Go get her. Ah.
アルバイト始めたりで少しは大人になったのかと思えば、所詮はマキナ。まだまだ子供よね。
Makina will be Makina forever, I'm pretty sure, at this point.
そうおっしゃられるミチル様は大人なのでしょうか。
She is, in fact, not.
まあ、何をもって大人とするかなんて、それこそ人によって尺度も違うだろうけど。
I mean, mature is very broad topic.
少なくとも私は祭りの夜店ごときで前後不覚になるほどテンション上がったりはしないわね。
Why not? That means you're excited for something. It's fun. Well, it'd definitely be a little weird if you started running around shrieking with Makina, but that's a little thin as justification for this whole big sister act.
ミチル様における大人の基準の低さが伺われる発言ですね。
Just all the way down there.
ほんだ、その程度の挑発で激高するほど子供じゃないわよーだ。
I mean, Machiro, you're probably like one of the most immature people in this group.
これは成長なされましたね、ミチル様。午前中に子供と一緒にキャッキャ言いながら出汁を引いていた方とは思えない発言です。
I was actually gonna bring that up. I was like, you were like playing with children or rather, just...
ほんの数時間でよくぞそこまでご成長なされました。まるで別人のようです。この小峰幸、感服いたしました。
It's not rapid growth, Sachi.
そんなことないわよ。私を。
Right?
ねえねえ、ユージ、ちょっといい？これ知ってる？
No, what stuff? Looks like apricot candy? What about it?
これってさ、どう見てもスモモなんだけど、なんでアンズ飴っていうの？
You see, what? I don't have a clue. Why don't you try asking the guy running the stall?
なんかよくわかんないけど、そういうもんだよお嬢ちゃんって言われた。
The fuck? How can he sell what he doesn't know what it is? Guess that's how it is. Why are you so curious about this all of a sudden?
いやさ、マキナになんでさって聞かれて、私も答えられなくて。
So you came to Dad, huh? Well, sucks that I didn't know. I'll just look it up later and let you know. Speaking of Makina, wasn't she with you? Where the hell did she go? Where did that little whippersnapper get off to?
あ、いない。あの子またちょろちょろと一人で。
Ah, she'll be fine on her own. No one's gonna like snatch her up. She's too annoying for they'd return her.
マキナ
Don't worry about her. Honestly, for someone who's supposedly so afraid of strangers, she's weirdly adventurous.
マキちゃん、いなくなっちゃったんですか？
Divine disappeared. Nothing to worry about. I'll track her down in no time. You just enjoy the festival.
そうそう、大人は優雅にパラソルの下でかき氷でもフラッペでもいただくのが祭りの風流ってものよ。
Machiro, you keep trying.
今なんで言い直したんですか？
Just, wait. Just keep trying. Come on, are you really going to point that out? Have a little pity on her.
つまりかき氷をフラッペと呼ぶのが大人なのですね、ミチル様の中では。そうよ。なんか文句ある？
I feel like adults love the good shaved ice every now and then.
文句はありませんが、ではかき氷を食べる人を英語で言うと？
Why you want her to say it in specifically English?
英語かきごーら
Still terrible, huh?
それはかき氷の末尾に ER をつけただけですし、そもそもかき氷は英語じゃないです。
I was like, that is no English word that I've ever heard of in my entire million years of living.
フラッペラこれはまたすごい英語力の大人もいたものですね。小峰幸、また一つ見識が広がった思いです。
I think I'm just gonna walk away from this whole talk and just,
うるさいわね。かき氷はかき氷でしょが。フラッペロンとかどうでもいいのよ。
Clearly you do.
はいはい。それじゃあ向こうのパラソルの下で楽しくフラッペロンでも食べましょうね。みちる様は何味がよろしいですか？ムッキー、子供扱いしてんじゃないわよ。メロン味がいいに決まってるでしょうが。
She's like, that's exactly what she is.
はいはい、メロンメロン。行きましょうね。
Well, there they go. Hey, now. Somehow watching these two lately makes me think of a middle-aged man who walks up to the counter at an electronics store and vaguely demands a cell phone in an almost angry tone of voice. And the veteran sales clerk who gently handles the situation with a tolerant smile on her face. In the first place, flaperons are an aircraft control surface that function as both a flap and an ailer. And have absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with fraps or shaved ice or anything. Or frappes, however you want to call it. More importantly, where did Mommy and Makina go? Oh dear God, not Tuna Fish Man again.
なに？ああ、ぬいぐるみか。取ってあげたいけど、私もあまり得意じゃないのよね。っていうか、あんたあんな気持ち悪いぬいぐるみが欲しいわけ？
You know how much of a fan of fucking Tuna Fish Man she is?
ひょっちゃら言うな。マグロマンは高級鮮魚なのよ。
And he throws his meat at people to win.
意味わかんないし、マグロに手足生やしただけじゃん。やっぱきょっちゃるいて。
You're just about to piss Makina off. Hey, you two, something up?
あ、ユージ、なんかね、マキナがあのきょっちゃるいぬいぐるみが欲しいんだって。
I don't see a problem.
しゃーからきょっちゃるい言うな、ツートンのじゃい。しばくぞボケ。
She is super hyped up about this man to defend Tuna Fish Man. Sorry, can you talk in standard Japanese?
だからマキナがあのマグロが欲しいんだって。
A tuna? How many points to a shooting gallery booth set up nearby? Ooh, shooting gallery. I gotta be good at that because I probably shoot people in my time. Indicating a specific toy set up on top of a garish red platform. A strikingly creepy plush tuna, frozen in the act of carving out its own stomach with a knife, stares back at me with the eyes of a dead fish. Ooh, Tuna Fish Man, eh? Pretty well made. There's death in those eyes.
だろう、あのクオリティがわかるとは、さすが私のパパなのよさ。
Even I know quality when I fucking sees it.
私にゃあれの何がいいのかさっぱりわかんないんだけど。
Because it's her fucking show.
子供のおもちゃをてめえの基準でポンポン捨てちゃう母親にはわかんねえんだってなあ。私はマキナのおもちゃを捨てたことないわよ。
I'm pretty sure you've done it at least once or twice.
忘れてるよこの女。この前私の DSP のソフトゴミと間違えて捨てたじゃんさ。
Whoa! Amane.
あれはだってあんな小さいのがゲームソフトだとは思わないじゃん。
If you don't know what something is, just I feel like not assuming it's trash isn't the first thing you do.
私の知ってるゲームってのはこうもっと大きいカセットだったもの。ガシャってやつ、ガシャってん。
Fucking old ass woman.
あまねえっていつの時代の生まれだよ。今時ゲームはみんなディスクかカードだぞ。
Wait, hold on, Amine. You are like barely any older than I am, and like, I know about discs and cards and shit. What is this?
なこと言ったって仕方がないじゃないさ。私が最後に遊んだのって小学生の頃だもの。なんかお父さんがバッティングセンターでホームラン出してもらってきたやつ。
We can tell Amine's not a big fucking gamer or anything. Not that I really care, but when we talking about this fish stall over here?
そうだそうだ、マグロマン取って取って。
Alright, I will. Let me put in my killing skills to the test.
だから私はこういうの苦手なんだって。目も悪いからよく見えないし。
Amine, why are you all constantly talking like you're an old lady? Jesus.
ユージは
Oh, I haven't handled the gun in, like, a week. What about me?
だからほらあれだよ、射的得意？
That we just have a fucking flashback of Nom or something? Sharpshooting, huh? To be honest, it's definitely a strength of mine. In fact, you should call me of something of a specialist because, you know, I kill people. But
マキナがあれ欲しいんだって。取ってあげてよ。
wouldn't that be considered technically cheating because I'm just so goddamn good?
パパのちょっといいとこ見てみたいのよさ。
Okay, settle down, woman. Showing off would be easy enough, but that's no good. Makina, my friend, get the toy yourself. I'll teach you how. Oh my god, are we about to teach Makina how to shoot people?
こういう時に頼りになるのが男の子なんじゃないの？
Or rather, shoot things in general. Don't be spoiled. I'm not gonna let Makina turn into a woman who just sits around waiting for someone to drop everything she wants into her lap. People like that are trashed here. Seize the things you want with your own hands. That's a rule of mine.
またルールか。
I got a whole book. You wanna? I could get you the book later. But for now, Makina, get over here. I'll teach you. Come over here, fake daughter of mine. Hey, Pops, we're gonna play around.
兄さん、あんたプロだね。目を見りゃわかる。悪いがうちはプロはお断りだぜ。
See, that's also a thing. If they know you have skill, they will literally not let you play because they don't want you to actually win. Don't go jumping to conclusions there, friend. I'm not playing. This little shrimpy punk is. Assume that's not a problem?
お嬢ちゃんか。ま、いいだろう。
Unless Makina herself is really good at shooting for some reason. Oh no. My idea of earlier where Makina was a sniper might come true. As in, like, me when I was just like, what if Makina was a sniper because she likes fucking scopes and shit? I take out 300 yen from the coin purse in my pocket and slide it across the counter to the old man manning the booth. Oh. Look at her look of just determination. And look at us. This is the expression we have on our face all the time. That is literally all I imagine Yuji as constantly. Never a smile, never anything, just this. All the fucking... Anyway. Alright, Makina, listen up. The distance to your target is a mere 1.8 meters. Practically point-blank range. There's effectively no wind. Can't ask for better conditions than this. Even a drugged monkey can make this shot. You've been provided with 5 rounds of ammunition. You have permission to expend the first as a test shot. Use it to get a feel for your rifle's personality. Keep in mind, that bullet's been paid for through punishing taxes on your countrymen. One 5.56 millimeter sets them back 300 yen. One 7.62 is 350 out of the public purse. Snipers aren't permitted to waste their bullets. Understood? Are we doing this? Alright then. As a rule, fresh recruits like you should aim for the chest, not the head. It's a bigger target and less likely to shift on you suddenly. Much easier to hit. When using a small rifle without optical augmentation, you have nothing to rely on but your long years of experience and instincts. But unfortunately, you happen to be completely lacking in the former. And then Aminate's just over here like, ooh. But then again, we're dealing with a completely static target. Even an amateur can manage that. And you've got an excellent spotter. For now, believe in me. Alright then, here's your first round. Stuff it into the muzzle without leaving any gaps. Air will leak out even the smallest crack, throwing off your trajectory. Load your weapon with the greatest possible care. I choose a piece of cork that appears to be well balanced from the small dish of bullets the booth's owner handed to me, and pass it to Makina. The girl accepts it timidly, aligns the tapered end with the muzzle crown of her little gun, and carefully pushes it into the place with a sharp squeak. She's doing it. Very good. Next step. Pull the lever back as gently as you caress a woman. Compress the piston and engage the sear. Excellent, excellent! Now aim your sights toward the enemy. Hold the groove steady in front of your dominant eye and assume a shooting stance. Right shoulder, good. Left shoulder, good. Hold position to fire. She's always so hype about this too. Not yet. Keep your finger off that trigger. First, draw a rough bead on your target with your dominant eye. Once you've set your line of fire, inhale deeply. From this point on, no response will be necessary. When you've drawn in as much air as your lungs can hold, breathe out 80% of it and hold on to the rest. Jesus, now hold your breath. Good. Alright, listen up. From this point on, don't try to aim anymore. It's pointless. You'll make your hand shake if you try. Just visualize that bullet striking home. Got that? You are going to land the shot. Think of your friends. Think of your hometown. Think of your country, your countrymen. And when your heart is full to the brim with determination, wrap that little finger around the trigger, cold and serene as frost falling on the winter night, and fire! That speech. Ooh. Oh, that's a miss.
Oh, jeez.
I bet she almost had it. There's no time to be depressed. You figured out the quirks of your gun and its ammunition, right? Now change your sniping spot before they have a chance to counterattack.
反撃ってさ、なんかすっごい真面目にやってるところ悪いんだけど。
Shut up, Amine. We're busy doing awesome sniping things. Idiot! What kind of suicidal fool sneaks up behind someone in the middle of a firearms training session?
ああ、はいはい、ごめんよ。もう黙ってるからちゃっちゃと終わらせてよ。
Alright then, Makina. Load your next round. Get it in there, nice and tight. No matter how skilled you may be at something, imparting knowledge to others is rarely as easy as you might think. However, Makina possesses both a surprisingly excellent memory and fundamental mental flexibility. Just as importantly, when there's something she doesn't understand, the girl asks for clarification instead of pretending to follow. And above all else, she has a truly passionate desire to improve herself. Teach her the first step and she'll end up learning the next 10 on her own. This off-the-cuff instruction as the fundamentals of marksmanship is no exception. The girl's visibly sucking in my every word like a sponge absorbing water. As her instructor, it's kind of a refreshing feeling. Get in there, Makina. But in the end, Makina is equipped with a toy gun and completely unreliable wedges of cork. The first 4 shots sail wide off the mark, leaving her with only the final bullet, usually reserved as insurance against being captured alive. Damn! Last bullet. It's all come down to this shot. I don't have anything more to teach you right now. Believe in yourself and pull the trigger. Ooh. Oh, got him! The cork bullet slaps into the tuna fish man doll in its lower right flank. Kidney shot. Unbalanced by the impact, the toy spins wildly around the platform. And just like that, it falls off the ledge with a satisfying thump. Yes! You see how much she vibrated right there? You did good! Hey, we're not done yet. Show some respect for your target and follow through properly. Slowly breathe in until the air in your lungs is completely replaced, maintaining careful awareness of your surroundings.
Hey you, お嬢ちゃん。おめでとう。
I thought this guy was gonna be a dickhead and be like, hey, that's cheating, or something.
マグロマーケットなのよさ
I love when Makina gets so happy and excited, aka 90% of the time.
あ終わった
Wasn't any of that interesting for you, Amine? Amine, you're unbelievable. Here the girl is, triumphing through her own hard work, and you're paying more attention to eating a hot dog in the most suggestive way possible, you fucking...
うんだってなんかお腹空いちゃって
Why does... You don't need to slurp when you're eating a fucking hot dog! Don't run your damn tongue around the thing, it's gonna...
見て見てあまね私自分でゲットしたのよ
Yeah, she did good. You weren't even watching, though, were you?
おおやるじゃんマキナあんたきっと射撃の才能あるよ
Oh, boy. Sharpshooter, huh? Now I just keep thinking I'm gonna take her under my wing and she's gonna help me with my assassin work. I mean, I just assume we're some sort of assassin. Like, we don't know shit about Yuji yet, and we won't for a long time. But, you know, I'm just assuming.
そうかな
To be certain, you've got an eye for it. Well done, Private Isiru. Just the sort of skills I'd expect from my daughter. If you want the Narashiro badge, I'll write you a letter of recommendation.
ありがとうございます大佐
Just salutes. Just to be clear, I'm not actually a colonel of anything.
あんたらほんとレンジャーごっこ好きねつうかこの調子で育てていったらどんな子になるのかしら少し不安ね
Well, Amine, under my rule, or supervision, she'll become a killer.
皆さん大変ですみちる様が
Oh my lord, what did she fucking do now? Why are you so worked up, Sachi? Something wrong with Michiru?
どこから説明すれば
What's the matter? Just spill it out. Calm yourself. Start with one thing you want to say most.
みちる様はバカです
Yes, we all understand that. Now the second most thing you want to say.
うんそれは多分みんなわかってると思うよ当たり前すぎて今さら誰も口には出さないけれど
Well, I mean, I like to point it out every now and then because it's funny. In other words, you're trying to tell us that Michiru has made a complete ass out of herself yet again.
いかにもです
What could she have done? What? Oh, my lord.
あイカって言えばあっちでイカ焼きそば売ってたのよさ食べに行かない
Yeah, because fuck Michiru completely, I guess.
おいいね行こうか
I mean, I'll go see, or I might be going with them to get the eggs, Sachi, so... Come on, people, at least try to be a little more concerned about Michiru. Alright, so what exactly happened, Sachi? Explain when, where, what, and why, as concisely as possible.
はい先ほどそこのかき氷の早食い大会の会場でみちる様が馬車馬のごとき勢いでかき氷を食べましたところ
Oh, did she either choked and is dying, or dead right now, or she got massive brain freeze.
急に頭を抱えたかと思えばうきゅーっと意味不明な気勢を発して混沌されました
Or just fainted from said brain freeze. I see. I nod solemnly. Seems plausible enough. Incidentally, human beings really are creatures of constant growth. I'm no longer even surprised by that level of eccentric behavior on Michiru's part.
逆に言うとチルチルは全然成長しないのなあいつあれなそのうちバカで身を持ち崩すタイプな
Oh, well, Makina, she certainly has something in the future.
つうかみちるはなんだってそんな大会に参加したのよ
いえその理由もよくわからないんですけどなんだか急に一流のトップかきゴーラーとして私は誰の挑戦でも受けると理解に苦しむばかりのことを言い出しまして
She literally never makes any sense. In other words, she started acting like the champ on the basis of nothing but her own unfounded pride.
みちる様がおっしゃるにはチャンプの中のチャンプ チャンペストだそうですが、正直私にはみちる様が何を言っているのかさっぱりでして。
Oh, I'll tell you what she was trying to say. She was trying to say she's a goddamn idiot, and
で、みちるは
still passed out, fainted.
はい、医務室に運ばれまして、急激に冷えた体温を温めるために毛布をかぶって足湯に浸かっておられます。
Oh, always doing the stupidest shit, Michiru.
熱中症の次は冷えすぎか。めんどくせえ女なのよさ。
It brings up a good point. She did go from one extreme to the complete opposite. What the fuck, Michiru? In a day! In a fucking day! Come on, no need to be so harsh on the girl. For the moment, why don't we just check up on her? And she's dead. Like so, our hectic but profoundly memorable visit to the summer festival rolled on into the night. And when the hour hand moved past 9, as the bright lights around us began to dim, we made our way back to the dorm together. Fortunately, Michiru's shaved ice overdose led to nothing more than a diagnosis of moderate ice cream headache. After warming up, she was promptly released from the medical tent. It's hard not to grumble about this constant parade of false alarms, but I guess that's sort of Michiru's identity, so it's hard to get pissed off about it either.
マキナ、部屋に寝かしつけてきたよ。
Good. You're good to mom, Amine. I'm gonna be nice to you for once. I mean, you do a good job, and I don't know if I can ever be as warm and loving as you are, the Makina. Look, I got a lot on my mind. Yeah, thanks. I'm guessing she didn't give you any trouble?
もうぐっすりよ。マグロマン人形抱いて、よだれでベッタベタにして、ぐひゃぐひゃ言いながら寝てるわ。よっぽど嬉しかったのね。
Oh, Makina's just a little sweetheart. Just the littlest sweetheart. Makina spent most of the night frolicking around at maximum intensity, but just as the end of the festival was approaching, as if her battery had run out of juice, the girl abruptly dozed off with a choco banana still dangling out of her mouth. Of course, that's a common enough occurrence, so nobody was particularly flustered. I hoisted Makina's limp body onto my back, and Amine proceeded to eat the rest of her banana with a great deal of unnecessary slurping and licking and sensual stuff. Come to think of it, the way Amine polished off a half-eaten snack covered in Makina's spit without even hesitating, you'd think she really was the girl's mother. Or maybe it's just a glutton to the core.
何
And very sexy. Nothing. Just talking to myself.
そんなことよりさ、見て見て。マキナの持ってた巾着袋から面白いものが出てきたよ。
Interesting.
ほら、七夕の願い事を書いた短冊。
Oh boy. I know what those are. Oh. Hamane retrieves a few brightly colored strips of paper from Makina's purse and hands them to me.
それさ、去年私とマキナが京都のおばあちゃんの家に行った時、七夕祭りで書いたやつなんだけどさ。
What's this? She made 4 separate ones? Greedy kid. It is Makina we're talking about here. I could see her getting the idea that Tanabata's just Christmas and summer. What with decorating the tree and all. Don't tell me she hung up a whole list of wishes expecting Tanabata Claus to make them happen with no effort whatsoever on her part.
まあ、本当は5枚あったんだけど、本当に叶えたい願いは一つだけにしないと効果が薄いよって言ったら、その4枚が残ったのよね。
I turn over the strips of paper in my hand one by one, reading the wishes scrawled on them. Infinite mountains of bread. Alright. I want to learn how to ride a bike. Okay, accomplished. I want a white puppy. Not happening. I want to play with fireworks. Did that too. I don't know about this one with the bread, but the others are actually pretty respectable.
ね、何か気づかない？
That we did like half of them? Like what?
その4つのお願い。白い子犬のお願い以外は、他全部、あんた叶えてあげてない？
Well, she doesn't have a mountain of bread yet. She hasn't made one. What?
食べきれないパンだって自分で焼けるようになれば決して夢じゃないし、自転車にだってもう乗れるようになってるでしょ？
I'm just her one wish though was probably something about wanting a dad or something.
花火だってほら、みんなで海に行った時、あんたマキナと一緒にやったでしょ。
How could I ever forget the beach episode? No one forgets the beach episode. Now that you mention it.
でしょ。つうことはだよ。あんたあとはあの子に白い子犬買ってあげればコンプリートじゃない？
You're gonna guilt trip me into buying her a white puppy? A dog, huh?
お金なら私が半分出してあげるよ。犬を飼う許可も学園長に相談してあげるし。
You know, I think a dog would be nice to have around the place. I mean, that's not really...
何？犬嫌いなの？
Not really, but I decided not to own another dog after the incident.
ごめん。もしかして子供の頃にペットと死に別れたりした？
Well, something like that.
そっか。じゃああんまり無理は言えないね。
Should probably try and get over that. But I'm not quite there yet. Sorry.
いいよいいよ。そもそもあんまり都合よく願い叶えてあげるのもどうかと思うしね。
By the way, what was Makina's wish this year?
どうしよっかな。教えちゃっていいのかな。
I mean, if it's up on the tree for everyone to read it, like, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm not really trying to force it out of you, I'm just asking.
いやいや、別に隠してるわけじゃないんだけどね。ちなみにさ、去年マキナが笹に吊るした一番のお願いって何だと思う？
No clue. I want huge tits, maybe?
そうじゃなくて、パパが欲しいってお願いだったのよね。
Yeah, I knew that was the case. That's something else.
でしょ？私もさ、その短冊見たとき、思わず泣いちゃってさ。
That's like so sad, considering you know what happened to her dad. Oh boy.
でもさ、こうしてちゃんと願いが叶って、風見裕二ってパパができたんだから、七夕のお願いもそうバカにしたもんじゃないよね。
Hell, even one she doesn't even put on the tree. I guess.
で、これが今年マキナが書いたお願いの短冊。
Wait, why do you have that?
それは書き損じたやつよ。ちゃんと書いたやつはベランダで笹に吊るしてお焚き上げも済ませてあるわよ。
Fucking derpy ass girl. Messing up one of her wishes. Let's see. The slip of paper I accept from Amine has 4 words scrawled unsteadily across it. Stay with Oni-chan forever. I see. Wait, misspelled forever, huh? Did she? Wait. Yup, she did. My brain auto-corrected it. That's why I didn't notice it at first. Fucking stupid ass girl.
七夕の頃はあんたまだあの子のお兄ちゃんだったからね。
In other words, she wished to be with me forever.
そういうこと。どう？ちょっと嬉しい？
Oh, I guess you could say that. Well, I guess.
あれ？照れちゃってんの？まあ、可愛いこと。
Shut up, woman. To be certain, the way Makina's taken to me inspires an awkward variety of happiness. But on the other hand, I find myself bumping right back up against the critical question, or a crucial question. Well, I mean, it could be critical as well. Just how long will I really be able to stay with her? Well, I intend to be around for her as much as I can.
そうしてやって。あんたもいろいろな事情があってこの学園に来たんだとは思うけど、せめてこの学園にいる間だけでもさ、あの子のお父さんごっこに付き合ってあげてよ。ね。
I don't think it's a make-believe game anymore, Amine. Sounds about right. Averting my eyes from Amine's steady gaze, I reflexively glance into the corner of my room at the black cell phone I carry for work. Part of that baggage I'm still forced to lug around. I'm struck by the sudden urge to snap the damn thing in half, but I know perfectly well that smashing a phone isn't going to break the chains around my neck. I don't know how long I'll be able to stay here. I could be gone tomorrow. But still, as long as I'm in this school, I think I'll do what I can. What do you mean? Yuji, I need to know more about you! I need to know more! It was back in elementary school when I realized I didn't hate running. Sorry, I had a little freak out there. This discovery wasn't prompted by anything special. I had no friends back then, so I'd often spent my afternoons hurling rocks into nearby rivers, killing time until my mom got back from her job in the city. Not the most stimulating activity, granted, but we had practically no money, and I wasn't very creative as a kid. I mean, I'm not even now. Anyways, early one evening, I was alone at the riverbank, playing my usual slightly better than nothing game, hurling flat stones along the surface of the water to see how many times they'd skip. But that day, I noticed a man running along the dirt path that followed the course of the river. Well, that's a slightly misleading way to put it. I'd actually noticed the guy a long time ago, since he ran that route along the river every single day. We never so much exchanged a word, but he'd always pass by the exact same time, even on rainy or blustery days. That was the extent of my connection to the guy. I'm sure he wasn't more interested in me. At most, he was probably vaguely aware of some weird kid who was always out in the grass throwing rocks at the river. That day, a bit of idle speculation ran through my head. That guy must be an athlete. Otherwise, why would you make yourself miserable by running every single day? Maybe he was even a pro of some sort. When you're a pro athlete, keeping yourself in shape is probably just another part of the job. And why would you bother running if it wasn't your job? I sure couldn't see anything fun about it. But when I actually thought it over, I realized that I'd never really gone a long distance run on my own free will. I didn't really have any reason to, and I never felt particularly interested in trying. Wasn't it a little messed up to decide something I'd never even tried was horrible? Maybe there was something fun about it that I just wasn't aware of yet. It was basically just a whim, but it's not like the rock skipping was doing much for me. I started running after school, jogging along with my knapsack on my back, 3 kilos at first, then 5, and eventually 10. Before long, running all the way to my mom's workplace became my daily routine. At first, I wouldn't make it over there until after shift finished, so I'd usually meet her halfway as she rode home on her bicycle. Things went on like that for maybe half a year, I guess. Little by little, the distance I covered before meeting my mom grew longer, and eventually I managed to get to her workplace before she left. When she came out that first evening to find me waiting by her bicycle in the parking lot, Mom's eyes went wide with surprise. Praising me with the words, "You really are a fast runner, Yuji." She glanced down at my beat-up old sneakers. And despite our extremely meager family of finances, she bought me a new pair of running shoes. In the flush of that success, I realized I actually kind of enjoyed running. And I learned that people can't really know something unless they experience it. Now I understood. That man who was always passing by me must have had some big goal of his own. His running must have been his patient, steady way of approaching that objective. I didn't have any evidence, but it felt like the answer. If my sister were still alive, I could definitely beat her in a race right now. That sort of childish self-esteem was probably something I needed badly back then. So I'm done looking up at the sky, and now we're floating down to the ground. Okay, I'm still looking up at the sky. You can never truly know something until you try it. That man by the river taught me that lesson, and in turn I want to pass it on to Makina. Oh boy. The ideal here would be something like, I don't know, teaching her the joy of music or something. If I had talent, I'd gladly play an instrument or sing for her. We can sing! But like I mentioned, I'm a little weak in the creative area. And honestly speaking, I'd feel more comfortable starting off by introducing her to things that lie within my field of expertise. And the field of my expertise happened to be running, exercise, killing, all trash taking out. What's the matter, maggot? Your movements are getting sloppier and sloppier, you piece of shit! Why are we training her to be a killing machine? First fucking sniping, now this. Oh no! I feel like my theories are not. It wasn't even a theory. It was just a one-off joke. I think that one-off joke's actually gonna come true. Makina's been tagging along on my daily running for several weeks now, and lately she started to participate in a little light exercise afterward as well. When I'm on my own, that usually just means conventional calisthenics and strength training, but I came to realize that Makina's muscles are significantly underdeveloped for a girl her age. It's because she was in the hospital for a long time. You can't do anything when you're in the hospital. Thinking that lack of physical endurance might have something to do with her tendency to nod off in the middle of conversations. Yeah, maybe. I started her on static isometrics, then worked up to a menu featuring more demanding dynamic exercise. I actually taught the girl some very simple self-defense principles a while ago, but I'm taking this opportunity to pass on some basic martial arts. Starting with the fundamentals, progressing to specialized techniques aimed at disarming an opponent with a knife and such, and finally more aggressive skills with the disclaimer, use these to create yourself an opportunity to run. At first, I wasn't taking the martial arts element particularly seriously. I'd looked at the lessons more or less as a substitute for playing around with her. But before I knew it, Makina was moving in ways that could sometimes startle even me. You really can't underestimate this one, because she's a smart one, but... Shout from the pit of your stomach. Forcing the air out of your lungs helps push your brain into a state of tension, increasing your reaction time and burst power above your muscles. That's why I shout when I'm doing anything. Makina's following the fundamentals, just as I told her, and she's generally quick on the uptake. Her single largest problem continues to be a complete lack of endurance. Overall, the girl has come a long way in a short time. You're approaching inefficiently. Keep your movements compact. Don't give your opponents a chance to counterattack. With another shout of determination, Makina ducks her head and leaps forward, expanding all her remaining stamina on one powerful tackle. And by expanding, I mean expending. Just as I brace myself to block, the girl seems to disappear. It's that so-called slide dash of hers again. Where did she even pick this one up? Wherever it came from, she's good at it. The movement manages to surprise me, and that's no mean feat for an amateur. But that said, not good enough! The abrupt shift downward while maintaining her momentum was magnificent. Up until the moment her arms wrapped around my knees, Makina gets perfect marks. But sadly, her lower body's just too weak to bring me down. To the girl's credit, that doesn't keep her from trying. Her face bright red from exertion, she strains against my waist, raising a fierce battle cry. She's trying so hard. Seizing initiative doesn't mean you've won. Also, brute force isn't the only way to take down an opponent. Timing and balance are what really matter. Make use of everything you can. That's the only way you're ever going to bring your enemies down. I reach down, grab Makina's elbows, and lightly push my thumbs down against her ular nerves. The impact of her funny bones, sending jolts of numbness running through both arms, Makina abruptly slackens her stubborn grip around my legs. Alright then, my turn! Startled by the threat in her vulnerable position, Makina instinctively tries to put distance between us. A definite mistake. Oh! Anticipating her attempt to back away, I follow smoothly, then give the girl a light push to the upper body, using the force of her retreat against her. With very little effort on my part, she's completely destabilized. And sensing her imminent fall, Makina desperately braces her legs to resist the pull of gravity. Just as she struggles to right herself, I sharply yank the girl toward me, again exploiting her own momentum. And in one smooth movement, I've twisted her body around and wrenched up her arm behind her back. You gotta learn, Makina. You're gonna need these skills one day. You understand now. If you're lacking in power, just use your opponent instead. The stronger they are, the better it works. Once you've mastered this, the title of champion's yours for the taking.
理屈じゃ分かってんのよ。でもそう簡単にはいかないのよさ。
Makina, I know how the real world works. Trust me. I'm telling you, this isn't just theorizing. In the words of the immortal Mr. Lee, don't think, feel, sense the flow, and all that sort of shit.
幼少の右利より空気の読めないことして雷鳴を轟かせていたこの私に ずいぶんな無茶を言っているのよ。
That's just a title. Titles can be changed, just like your little body. Listen up, Makina. Thinking before you move slows you down. And more often than not, things won't go away. Go the way you planned anyway. Incidentally, do you understand how I was able to break your grapple so easily?
そりゃ肘がビリビリしたからつい力を抜いちゃったというか。
You weren't planning to loosen your grip, but you ended up letting go anyway. That's completely natural. When they touch a hot stove, almost anyone will jerk back their hand before they can even process what's happening. It's an instantaneous reflex action. Even when you're actually trying to touch the stove, you'll instinctively withdraw your hand. That's because your brain is just like, fuck, that's danger! Danger! The part of your brain that controls conscience thought isn't the same as the part that optimizes twitch reactions. Learn to exploit those involuntary reflexes, and you'll be able to control most people's actions without any need for overwhelming force.
おお、そういや今月のジュニアサイエンスで脳の仕組みってページにそんなこと書いてあったな。
Yeah, I read that one too. The main feature in that issue was pretty interesting as well.
あれな、コンピュータで脳の仕組みをシミュレートさせるとコンピューターが好き嫌いを言い出すって実験な。あれは私も面白かったのよさ。
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of preferences, you always use the same move when you're trying to land a tackle, you know that? The predictability makes it easier to deal with. Ideally, you should be mixing things up, not just sticking with the one style you like best. From now on, let's practice moves you're weaker at and add a little variation to your repertoire.
お箸を左手で使って右脳を鍛えるのと似たようなもんな。
You know what? Kinda like that. Yes, smart little cookie. There, get some pets. Human beings are creatures of infinite potential, but it seems like there's still a great deal left to teach you, young Padawan.
きっちり育ててほしいのよ。
Working on it. I'm working on you up to be a killer. Well, learning the theory is important and all, but it's not much good without a foundation of basic physical fitness. That's what we really need to focus on right now. Makina has surprisingly agility and burst power. She can handle anaerobic exercise well, but endurance-based cardio seems to be a real issue. Despite her fundamentally weak muscles, the girl seems to have a strong heart that pumps a good deal of blood with every beat. As a result, her resting heartbeat's probably fairly low. Maybe those sudden bursts of sleep are the result of brief dips into outright bradycardia. I know what that is. I'm just bad at saying it. If your circulatory system has something to do with that borderline narcolepsy of yours, developing your muscles might actually reduce the symptoms. Sort of.
わかんねえ。お医者様が言うには過度のストレス反応なんだって。まあぶっちゃけ原因不明の言い訳なんだけどな。
Also, the default thing doctors like to do is offer Ritalin. In any case, 9 times out of 10, someone who's in poor shape can improve their condition dramatically just by exercising, eating right, and getting enough sleep. Back in my old school, they were great believers in the intrinsic reliance and resilience of the human brain body. Go run it off was the extent of the medical advice you could expect if you were stupid enough to tell an instructor you caught a cold.
でもあんまり食うとポンポコ状態が慢性化してショックなことになるのよ。
You barely even have a stomach, woman. Traumatic. What's so bad about getting a little rounder? Kids are cuter when they have a little meat on their bones.
あのね、去年私が風邪ひいた時にね、アマネーに病院連れてってもらったのな。そしたらな、若いイケメン医師が私に言うのよさ。はい、それじゃお腹出してくれるかなってね。
Oh no.
ほんでまあ、自慢のポンポコベリーを見せつけてやったら、あのイケメン医師、聴診器を手に持ったまま顔を横に向けて、失礼って吹き出して笑
probably because of the way you were fucking acting, stupid.
軽くムカついたんで、おめえ喧嘩売ってんのかよって文句言ったら、あまねえに後ろから頭こづかれて、思わず、ウップスって言ったら、今度は爆笑された。
I'm not surprised. I would just slap you upside the head when you're getting a dead checkup for being sick.
あいつもういいです。
I doubt a doctor who can't even discern the essence of your cuteness could possibly make an accurate diagnosis.
だろ？なあ、私もそう思うのよ。
You can always tell a really excellent doctor by their ability to admit that what they don't understand. Or so someone or other told me back in the day. That said, I can't deny that excess flab mainly just gets in the way.
あまねえの胸のこと言ってんの？
Yes, we're talking about Amine's tits. Good example. I mean, a little extra fat at the chest and hips is a necessary evil for women, but those things are going to be a real nuisance when the girl goes golfing. Personally, as long as we don't get into HWAC territory, I think rounding out a little more would only add to Makina's niche appeal. Niche appeal? But come to think of it, I always did prefer the bumblebee-like curves of a J2M Raiden to the pencil-thin C6N Saiyan. Anyway, well, I guess that's not particularly relevant.
お？
Anyway, for the moment, let's try to avoid restricting your diet and focus on improving your body's basal metabolic rate. But no matter how much we speed up her metabolism, I doubt this shrimp's capable of burning 3,500 calories a day like a typical company employee. Guess I'll have to figure out a suitable training menu with Miss Sergeant Amine. Just as I'm stroking my chin with a thoughtful my ruminations are interrupted by the shrill squawking of Makina's digital pet. It's a daily occurrence at this point, but I can still feel my blood pressure rising. Why is it getting attacked? Can't say I've ever heard of a raid siren this idiotic. It's just your usual 7:30 alarm. We'll conclude our training here for today.
ありがとうございました。
Now go, have fun. Indeed. Take a quick shower before you go to work, okay? Oh, she's got to work too, right?
ああ、今日はね、アルバイトはお休みの日なのよ。
Oh, well, fucking sweet. And so, well, I guess a little R&R is necessary once in a while.
つうわけなんで、ね、パパ、今日は私とずっと遊んでよ。
You know what? I don't see a problem with that at all. I don't mind, but what sort of playing did you have in mind specifically?
なんでもいいのよ。
That's actually the most troublesome possible answer.
パパだって、いつもアマネーに同じこと言ってるじゃんさ。
That's different. Not really. Am I really?
ねえ、ユージ、今晩何食べたいってアマネーが言うと、いっつも興味なさそうに、何でも構わんって言うじゃんね。
Well, I guess in that case it is different because I don't actually care what I eat. Well, I see. Looking at it from that angle, I feel like I've gained a little insight into the menu-related suffering Amine must endure on a daily basis. But still, you really want me to decide? Girls at this age are difficult to figure out, especially for a man like me. To be honest, I can't even begin to guess what sort of playing Makina would actually enjoy. Burp. Oh, wait a second. I got an idea. Maybe it's about time I give you that.
何？なんかくれんの？
I hope it's not too crazy. Alright, you've been working hard lately, Makina, and I'm impressed. In fact, I think a reward is warranted. Accordingly, I will now bestow upon you with a splendid present.
何？すっげー楽しみ。
I'm hella looking forward to this! That said, I'm not exactly confident this sort of present would particularly appeal to your average adolescent girl. Oh no. Is it fucking stupid?
ねえ、ちょっと榊さん、ユージとマキナ見なかった？もうすぐお昼なのに二人ともいないのよ。
Don't worry, Amine. I'm just getting Makina a present, and it's probably something silly or ridiculous or something she may or may not even need in her in her life.